Alright. Let's start with Team Morocco for the first real deck of the day. I don't even know if this deck is good. It's just like a deck that we enjoyed playing when it was legal. So the basic idea is that we have, you know, a bunch of 1-mana dorks that ramp us into 3-mana planeswalkers. And then we've got a couple of different 4-drops. Then we've got Glorybringer and Sarkhan at the top end of our curve. So I think there's a real chance that this deck, especially with the Oko nerf, honestly even without the Oko nerf, is probably too slow and fair for this format, where Historic has pushed into. So I'm going to go ahead and dive on into some mirror games with this and see if it could be amusing at the very least. If you hear miscellaneous random screaming coming through my RTX filter in the background, past my own tiny monsters, one of Christie's high school girlfriends is visiting, and she has a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old, so there are currently 5 of them stomping around the house. No, untapped land on 2 is a little bit sad. Honestly, we'll probably lose the goose here, I imagine. Five small monsters seemed like you made the right choice for it. In a way, Twitch chat saved me by making me work today. It's honestly pretty impressive how much RTX filters out. Like I keep, whenever I hear them scream in the background, I usually glance over at the microphone thing, and it usually gets past a lot of it. Definitely don't need land number 6. Does Haley count as a monster yet? Yeah, definitely. She's been walking since she was 9 months old. She is all over and into everything. For people that haven't seen this interaction before, Questing Beast alongside Royal Scions is great, because First Strike Trample pairs well with the Death Touch text. Touchda, thanks for the 15 months, welcome back. It doesn't look like it filtered that one. The amount of screaming goes up. Yeah, it's definitely an exponential increase in noise the more children you get. So we just let Royal Scions take a hit for 4 here. How's he put an 8? They've shocked a few times. They thought seized. Questing Beast hit them for 6. It all adds up pretty quickly. Honestly, the second Royal Scions with Questing Beast might just like close this game out. You have successfully jump blocked 1 point of damage. What a scry. Looking for like a Glorybringer or a backup Questing Beast. Sarkhan also probably a decent draw. Okay, I got some more cat tokens. Yes, if we win this game, it is empirical evidence that Oko is still busted. Ha, Eldraine chat. Oh, Eldraine. They've cooked our goose, chat. Okay. Thankfully, after they cooked our goose, it left some food behind. Yeah, hot nickel. Standard will be interesting in the fall in general, but for people that have never experienced the non-Eldraine standard format, it'll be a nice treat for you all, especially.
The proper application of knowledge.
Definitely good to ditch Grazer. I think we just go ahead and cast this. This way, if we work out a land and they don't kill our stuff, we can still cast a 5-drop next turn. It was a change at once upon a time. They made it unplayable. It's just bad Abundant Harvest. Can you smack my face, or do you kill my scions? I'd like to draw an untapped land. I'd like to draw an untapped land that doesn't hurt me.
My plan is crystallizing.
Okay, well, we're not dead on board. Because of Sarkin's static text. Magnificent. Not dead to castle either. Do you believe in the cleave, chat? Don't do it. Don't put that bad mojo on us. Dead miscellaneous shocks and lightning strikes here too, obviously. Dead to our own Bone Crusher Giant. Oh wait, that doesn't make my final cut, right? Yep.
In battle.
And many
it's terrifying. Alright, so untapped land that doesn't hurt me. We get to go Glory Bringer plus the Sarkin.
Let me synthesize.
Oh, chat, why are we at 2, chat? Why are we at 2? Alright, so we bend this, and then I think we're dead, right? Believe it or not, I locked my office door today. Are they murdering each other? No, those are just how kids are. Playing the untapped land was the appropriate play, yeah. Needed to get the dragon into place so we could have Sarkin static text. Yeah, Sand's great. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4. Curving right on out the door. Uro, guessed wrong.
What is my strategy here?
Spiral, thanks for the 2/3 of a year. Welcome back. Wizards has not said anything about keeping these changes or anything like that. This is just a one-off event as far as we know. It could be them testing for something like that in the future, but they've not communicated any intention of that at this time.
A quest of mystery.
Do I bin the Oko? I think we bin the Oko. I think I want the... Honestly, it might have been right the way our hand was to just, like, give Questing Beast 2 extra attack this turn. That's probably better. I don't know if there was anything that we could really loot into that I would have kept there. Lightning, thanks for the year and a half. Welcome back. Good morning, good morning. Oh, they didn't name the right Uro. That's funny. They named Uro Titans of Nature's Wrath, not Arena Modified Uro Titan of Nature's Wrath.
I think I have made a tactical error.
So, the problem with the boomer solution that Eambot has suggested in chat, because I've heard this boomer solution from a number of people. It's not just as simple as printing, having sets where we occasionally print fixed versions of older cards. Because the issue with that is, one, a fix isn't always a one-size-fits-all. And two, the power level, as we often repeat, because people seem to never get it through their thick skulls, is contextual. And a fix that's okay today might not be a fix that's okay at some point in the future.
Knowledge is the key. Let us plan for the trials ahead.
So I personally, at least, think it would be nice if Magic just came into the 21st century and just, like, started, you know, editing cards. I'm a paper magic chip, yeah. Whatever, I don't care about your paper magic.
Your end has arrived.
So Sarkin triggers on each one, so that's nice. So I'm gonna block. I'm gonna block nothing, and then we're gonna die. Got it. Yeah, like for example, the last opponent's deck we just played against, their deck isn't even playable in normal historic. Like, it's underpowered for the things you'd see in the normal queue without these cards. I don't know that we're gonna play this one for very long. The gameplay's not particularly compelling, and our power level seems low. Like, our deck just got dumpstered by something that's, like, not good enough for normal historic. So, like, this almost assuredly isn't. A lot of people are playing a lot of weird off-meta things in here because it's all access. So, like, from a statistical standpoint of are these things too good or not, they're probably not going to get any relevant, useful data out of this. Yeah, best of one historic in general is kind of a trash fire. It's like a fundamentally different format than normal historic because of how Magic's non-rotating formats tend to work in terms of sideboard cards.
The fool rules. I invite you to change your ways.
Let's try some Winona. Yeah, they definitely moved the needle too much on Oko. He was certainly an overnerf. Turn 2 Oko is still strong. I don't know if I really agree with that. Strong is relative, and like if you look at like what other playable things are happening in the format, turn 2 Oko does not seem impactful. As Oko feels like he comes in a starter deck. Yeah, I think that's a pretty accurate assessment. Beefy Trivoli, thanks for the half a year. Welcome back. They definitely could have gone +1, -1 on Oko. No, I think trying to brainstorm in this deck is some hot fucking nonsense. The idea of splashing to add consistency is nonsensical. Yeah, I don't have Amari as a companion because it's not very good. I guess it's free, huh? We're not sideboarding. In my head, I was thinking it's not worth the sideboard slots you'd give up, but we're actually not giving those up in this best of one. Alright, so if we draw a land next turn, we get to Fauna Shaman into a Winona. My Winona. Beau-do-do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do, beau-do-do-do-do. Beau, 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 beau. Do-do-do-do. Sedge. Sedge. Big Sedge, chat. Big Sedge. But is this event designed just so you could sing that song again? Quite possibly. Hey, look, it's a 1-mana card that kills my Winona. Winona only looks at 4 cards now instead of 6. Hey, chat, I'll do it again, I swear. The worst part is we have to shuffle all those cards we just put on the bottom back into the deck. So far, this event has largely convinced me that my these things should be unbanned in historic top 5 video is definitely accurate. Just a bunch of stuff in this format that should be legal but isn't. I mean, you can't actually know if this was a bigger change or not. There's a chance she looks at 6 cards and we still just brick off and die here. Yeah, Uro can probably stay gone. Uro wasn't on my list of things I'd unban for a reason. Alright, we get 3 looks, chat. Can Milady finally get there? There's Miguel. There's Miguel. My Winona. Atta girl. Athero, thanks for the 17 months. Welcome back. Almost said 93 months. There's 93 in your name. Things are very different. Man, I can't say that I've missed having to draw Ingress Marauders. You probably don't like the Teferi change because it was both lazy and bad. Yeah, I should put Amari as a companion after this. It's a freebie to draw to discard to Fauna Shaman. Huh. Seems kind of gambly. Not taking the Winona. Okay, lol. I'd also like the record to reflect the last time Winona was legal in historic, Thoughtseize didn't exist. So, like, you know. That's true too. Thoughtseize has mostly been pushed out of actual factual historic because there's so many blue decks. Although, listen, chat, there were only 11 players out of 16 that registered Brainstorm decks for the MPL this past weekend, so it's probably fine. Probably not a big deal. M'lady. Hit me, dealer. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There's Miguel. There's Miguel. They're gonna rough you up, chat. My Winona. It's Faceless Haven Eldrazi. It is. Can't discard the top of the deck, chat. And again, like, you know, we're winning these games, but we're winning against things that like aren't actual historic decks. It's like the Phoenix deck was a real deck, but the second one was like, eh. All right, where's my companion at? I don't know that I'm going to make it all the way to 1 o'clock playing Mirror Mirror. Probably play for another half hour, 45 minutes, then do an actual historic deck for a little bit. No, you're not allowed to play Land War Elves on one opponent. I wanted to play Land War Elves on one. Chat. This may come, what I'm about to say may come as a shock to all of you at home. But I've come to the conclusion that being on the play is good in the Winona Mirror match. Mirror, this is what they meant when they said Mirror Mirror. They called it Mirror Mirror because they knew Winona was going to be the only playable card that they modified. So, they knew that, they knew that you were going to play a lot of Mirror matches. Oh, Kenny boy, Winona is a calling. Do. It's fine, chat. We'll bring in some red cap melees for the post-board games, and they won't just be able to race us like that, because we'll be interactive. Oh, wait. Weird. Steam Fence Wellspring. Grixis. Mirror, mirror on the wall, how is it fair when they're on the draw? Asking the real questions. Wait, Runeterra is doing another card release on the 12th? That feels, the timing on that feels weird. I think I let this happen Because I want to have Savior to protect Winona. Oh, it's lining up with something from all of Ryan's stuff. That makes sense. Hey, look, chat. Winona, bad against memory lapse, turns out. Second verse, same as the first. A little bit louder and a whole lot worse. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. No! You're not allowed to interact with my Winona. You can't just play interaction. Reddit told me this card was unbeatable and needed to stay banned. Sedge. Listen, chat, my scrappy scraps here in play. They're pounded down the wall. Draw another Winona. I'm trying over here, Steric. I'm trying. Maybe I should have fetched a Winona this turn with Fauna Shaman. Man, chat, our Winona deck is so bad, we're losing to Grixis. The part where they draw our Skyclave Apparition. Okay, spin them tires. We could kill them next turn if they're on bricks, but we've got a lot of looks to find a live one here. Ugh. Okay. Okay. All right, Winona. Don't fail me now. Ooh, don't fail me now. M'lady let me down, chat. M'lady let me down. It's the part where they put like 6 mana Liliana, like -4. Oh, they took one of our good. Oh, shit! Double striking Thief of Sanity. They're probably still dead. Hey, congrats, Melanin. Thank you. Yep. Don't kill my stuff. That's cheating. You can't just interact with me. Chronically MTG. Thank you for the prime. Welcome to the channel this afternoon. Well, Legion War Boss was the best draw in our deck, so I assume that we're out of those. Yeah. All right. Well, we lost to Grixis, and so this is something I've talked about before, and one of the reasons why I would actually really like Winona unbanned in Historic in general is because our deck getting picked apart by an interactive deck like Grixis is actually the norm for a deck like what we're playing. And this Naya Winona deck, while powerful, capable of generating turn 3 kills if your opponent doesn't interact with it, there's so many ways you can interact with this archetype. And decks like this Winona deck existing in Magic formats actually push those formats to be more interactive. Because the decks that can be good when a deck like this is good are forced to be interactive. Yep, everything will end up on the YouTube channel. I think I'm probably going to have this and the couple of games we played with the Team Morocco deck all in the same video, rather than having 2 super short videos for it, but... So we're hoping to draw a 2 or 3 mana thing that triggers Winona next turn, so we can play Winona on 4 and get a couple of triggers. Yeah, I agree with that, Blanc. Combo decks that care about creature removal, it's difficult for them to be too toxic. Well, that was the best draw in my deck. They could have a 3 mana counter for Winona, but even if they have a 3 mana counter for her, Legion Warboss is gonna punch the clock and go to work a little bit here. Alright, so my opponent did nothing, and now they are dead. A lot of the people that complain about decks like what this Winona deck is are people that don't mulligan appropriately, or don't build their decks appropriately, or just want to be greedy. I want to be able to take no meaningful game actions for 3 turns and not get run over. Cheesy Pastries, thanks for the 26 months, welcome back. Turn 2, Boros, Legion Warboss, sign me up. It puts a constraint on deck building. It's not really a constraint. What a deck like this does is encourage you to make good deck building decisions, saying you need to be able to interact with creatures or play counter spells or play discard spells isn't really a deck building constraint. It's just basically saying, hey dummy, you're gonna lose in a big way if you don't make good deck building choices. It's a lot like Luris, right? When you read Luris, Luris looks like a deck building restriction, but when you actually think about it, Luris is just good deck building advice. It says, hey, don't put expensive bad cards in your deck. Decks like these punish people that want to play solitaire. M'lady. I mean, 4 mana multicolored spell is not easy in every archetype to handle. Get out of here. You're just wrong. You're just wrong. 1, you also don't have to explicitly remove Winona. Winona can also be removed by getting rid of things that are in play. And most good decks have access to black or red cards, which both have super efficient ways to kill them. And then decks that have blue cards have efficient answers like Memory Lapse to Tempo now. There's so many good, cheap ways to answer. It's basically just mono green that doesn't have a good way to deal with Winona. And mono green's not even really something that's good in Historic as is, because it just doesn't keep up. So you're just wrong. And mono green is terrible in general. Yeah, you also have Graph Digger's Cage, which you wanna talk about You want to talk about easy answers that everybody can play, put some Grafdigger's cages in your sideboard. And for the record, I would agree with you that this deck, like this Winona deck, is obnoxious and probably overpowered in best of one, but that's because Magic in general is a fucking terrible best of one game. Magic has a ton of incredibly toxic, bad designs that are only remotely close to okay because sideboards exist in this game. There's lots of things that are fine in best of 3 and even unplayable in best of 3 that are toxic and too good in best of 1. And I would agree with you if we're looking at just best of 1 perspective. I don't think this deck should be legal, but best of 1's just a whole different ball game, especially in non-rotating formats like Historic. By what metric can your deck be called interactive if it can't interact with Winona? Not any that I've ever seen. Up for a dad joke? Only if it's apparent. I think we're just turning Skyclave into a Winona for next turn. Was that an intentional pun? I have 3 kids. You let me know. You let me know what you think.
The brambles of truth whirl and curl, choking out lies. Surely you must be famished.
Milady. Angrath's Marauders. Oh, Angrath's Marauders.
Ooh, I feel so alive. It's not poisoned. Trust me.
He wasn't able to make a food into a thing, chat. Is that part where they Gear Hulk and exclude? Oh, man. Gross. So now I have to choose between killing Oko and replaying Shaman. I think we need to kill the Oko. And again, like, it's convenient that we've queued into whatever this opponent is doing. Just, like, highlighting exactly what I said earlier, which is decks like this tend to struggle with decks that are very interactive. And if a deck like this is something that you have to care about in the format, it encourages the format to become more interactive. It's been alright, Win Maggots. It's reminded me that I don't really enjoy Historic as a best-of-1 format. We're gonna slam with Winona a couple more times here, but then probably gonna move to just playing actual Historic for the next little bit. Most people aren't even playing with edited cards. It's a lot of people just like using it as an all-access excuse, which I can't blame them, really. Historic's expensive and the all-access is nice. Well, Tainted Pack isn't banned. Thassa's Oracle is banned, but Thassa's Oracle is banned in this too, right? Hey, Engine, thanks for the quarter of a year. Welcome back. Okie doke. See one more untapped land here. Oh no, not Uro. Come on, untapped land. Untapped land. Never lucky, chat. Never lucky. What's going on, Jack? It's the part where they fetch and cast a sweeper. Am I about to face the wrath of God? No. Extinction event doesn't kill everything, but it takes away my mana dork and my Legion War boss. Just a growth spiral. Alright, let's see if the opponent has the audacity to interact with me this turn, or if they can just die. Graybeard, thank you for the 17 months. Welcome back. Yeah, I agree, Boston. I would say the gameplay is not particularly compelling. A lot of the reason that I personally enjoy Magic's non-rotating formats just isn't really present in Best of One Historic. Like, so we're actually gonna play Best of One Standard at the end of the week, the Standard 2022. And I think Best of One is a pretty okay suited format for Standard, all things considered. Because, like, the type of busted things that happen in... Historic that make Best of One feel kind of sour just, like, tend to not exist in Standard, especially in the powered down format that we're going to have coming up. Hey, thanks for the 15 months, 10 under. Welcome back. Good morning, good morning. Playing against another heavily interactive deck here. Let's see if we get picked apart or not. They are playing a discard-based deck, which means we can top deck them potentially. Yep, just gonna go ahead and pick our board thoroughly apart. Not really coming back from that. Yeah, I plan, so the Open a week from today on July 11th that Ali Andrazi will be commentating with me here on the channel will be Standard 2022. So Thursday and Friday, I'm planning to play Standard 2022 all day. I am taking formal deck submissions if people want to make donations, but I'm also just taking deck ideas. So if you've got ideas for Standard 2022 decks, make sure you post them in the Discord server. The Magic Arena channel is the best place for that. I'd be happy to look at those. I wonder if these clifftop retreats should be red-white fast lands. It's probably a little better. JK, we'll just draw it. I mean, the important thing to remember and understand is that Best of One on Magic Arena is wildly more popular than Best of Three. So I wish they would make an exception for things that are historic, or I wish that they would just offer both game modes. That way people that want to play best of 3 can play best of 3. But I understand why best of 1 is offered, and it's important to have that as a queue. Both card availability, it not needing to build a sideboard for your decks in best of 1, as well as, you know, players just not having time or being intimidated by the prospect of sideboarding. All things worth considering. This could be a Winona mirror, actually. They could be like a red-white, more fair Winona deck. It's like our War Monster run away with this game quite solidly. Yep. Yep. Oh no! Are they still dead? I think they're still dead, right? They block and then they say, yeah, they were dead without that. We couldn't cast it. All right, I think that's enough to be brief for me for today. I'm gonna run to the bathroom really quick. And when I get back in just a minute, we are gonna play some traditional best of 3 historic, because that's the format that I enjoy playing in. So BRB.